Hey folks, welcome back to Markelly Farm. We got a hankering for pizza today for lunch, and we're going to show you how to make a super quick and super good thin crust pizza. So come along with us and we'll show you how it's done. Alright, for our thin crust pizza we're going to make very quick and easy. I'm going to use a process I came up with a long time ago. And it's a great shortcut. You don't have to make dough ahead of time, because if you've ever made pizza dough, you need to make it, let it rise, let it rest, all that stuff. It's kind of a hassle. And I like really fast pizza. And if you remember back in the day, they made those pre-cooked, pre-made pizza crusts that you could buy in the store. I believe the brand name was like Boboli or something like that. But there's a lot of bread involved in that. And Kelly likes a thin crust pizza. She's originally from Illinois, and I don't know if it's an Illinois thing or what it is. But she comes from an Italian family, and she taught me a few things. It's not Italian, it's Italian. And it's not Illinois with an S on the end, it's Illinois. You don't pronounce the S. So she's had to correct me on some of that stuff. So I got to thinking, to make a thin crust pizza, we could kind of do something similar to the old Boboli crust and use something that's pre-made. And here's what we came up with. Flour tortillas. It's basically, you could use this as like a pizza, like a shell or a pre-made pizza crust. And it comes out really thin, really crispy, and really good. So let's bust one of these out of here and we'll get this going. I got our pizza pan out. I've got our favorite pizza sauce. If you've never tried this, I really recommend it. It's kind of in your spaghetti sauce area in your store. It's called Pizza Squeeze. This is the best pizza sauce I've ever tried, even from a commercial pizzeria. I like this sauce the best. It has a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's still got that really good pizza flavor. So give that a try. You could make a pizza on an English muffin or whatever you wanted with this. It'd be fantastic. And then we have some shredded mozzarella cheese and some pepperoni. We're going to go pretty basic with this today. So let's get started. All right, here we go. We got some parchment down on our pizza pan because it makes things so much easier. You can grab your parchment and slide it right off when you're done. So let's get some pizza sauce on this thing. Probably about that. I would say this is probably a 12-inch tortilla, and we've probably got maybe a third of a cup of sauce on there. So we're going to spread this out. I like it all the way out to the edge. I'm not a big outer crust fan, like the crust on the outside of a pizza. I like it when they put it all right out to the edge. So that's what I do. So probably the perfect amount of sauce for what we got going here. And then just kind of smooth it out a little bit so you don't have any real thick or thin spots. And that's what she looks like. So we're going to get some cheese on this now. So I've got about 1.5 cups of cheese on here. And even with the cheese, I go right out to the edge. Probably 1.5 cups of cheese. Low moisture mozzarella. Pre-shredded because it's really convenient. This is all about convenience right here, folks. You can whip this pizza out in nothing flat for a quick lunch. And I keep this stuff on hand. Sometimes we'll even do this for a dinner. I'll make one for me, one for Kelly. I do Hawaiian usually for me, and Kelly kind of likes kind of a plain Jane pepperoni like this one. Okay, there we go. So let's get our pepperoni. Pepperoni's on. I start in the middle and I just make 2 circles around that. So I'm not done yet. I like adding some shredded Parmesan cheese or some grated Parmesan cheese before cooking. Some people will add it after, but I like it cooked right onto the pizza, about that much. And then I'll get some organic, it doesn't have to be organic, but that's what I have, Italian seasoning. And I love putting a little Italian seasoning on the top. It gives a really super good flavor. And because Kelly's not eating this pizza, I love crushed red pepper cooked on the pizza, not afterwards. It, for some reason, the cooked pepper tastes so much better. I think it releases the oils in the crushed red pepper. We used to go to a place way back in the day out by the mall my mom used to go to. It's called Gazebo's Pizza. And they used to put the crushed red pepper on the pizza before they cooked it. And you could smell it through the whole restaurant. It was phenomenal. So this is ready to go. Now obviously you could put whatever toppings you want on this pizza. But with a thin crust, I wouldn't go crazy with a big load of toppings. Keep it a little more simple. Use whatever you want, but just use less of it. You know, kind of spread it around a little bit. So we preheated our oven to 450 degrees. It's not all the way preheated yet, so I'm going to wait till it gets good and hot, because any place that makes really good pizza cooks their pizza really fast and really hot. So 450 degrees is what we're going to go with. Most places that make really good pizza use their brick oven, and they're super hot. So let's, when this thing gets preheated all the way, we're going to throw this thing in. Now I have to admit, I wasn't a fan of thin crust pizza back in the day. My experience with pizza, it has to be doughy, gooey, kind of messy, sloppy pizza is what I used to be used to, with a ton of toppings on it. And I still enjoy that a little bit. I have my favorite pizza place out in California that I'm going to go back to one of these days when I'm out there and get me some pizza. But if once you've tried thin crust pizza, I think you'd really enjoy it. It's a different experience, but the crispy, crunchy crust with all of the really good toppings on top, it holds its shape. It's really good. I can't explain it to you. You're going to have to try it yourself. But these flour tortillas really work good for this. It's super fast. You can literally knock lunch out in like 10 minutes. Really cool. All right, doesn't that look really good? So in she goes. We are all preheated. I have the rack down like in the lower third of the oven, so we can get a lot of heat from the bottom of that oven up underneath the bottom of that crust. If you have a pizza stone, and I do, and I just didn't get it out, you could throw your pizza stone in there and preheat it. And then you could slide that parchment off onto that pizza stone, and it would cook faster even. We have a little pizza peel that we use here when we go crazy, like when we do barbecue pizza and stuff like that. You can slide that parchment right off onto there and put it right in your oven. Okay, it's actually been about 15 minutes. And the kitchen smells amazing right now. Look at that beautiful pizza. Let's turn our oven off. So we need to let this cool. And what I usually do is I'll take it by the parchment and I'll just drag it right off of the pan, because the pan's still super hot. So that pizza is going to sit there and cool. And we'll come back when we cut it. Now, of course, you can make pizza out of lots of different things. We mentioned before, you know, English muffins. I've taken biscuit dough and rolled it out a lot thinner and used that. And it's a great, like, pizza night for the kids. Get all the ingredients together and roll out those little, the biscuits, like out of the can, the rolled biscuits. And let your kids make their own little pizzas. They just love that. And they come out really good. You can use French bread. You can use really anything to make pizza. But I love the flour tortillas for the really thin crust pizza. My great aunt used to use flour tortillas. She'd cut them up and put them in like soup for like dumplings. They would swell up. You could probably cut them thinner and use them kind of like noodles too if you wanted to. But the pizza's cooled off. Let's run the cutter through this baby. Get you a nice cutter. This is a nice, good, heavy-duty cutter. Don't use one of them little flimsy, small ones. But I cut my tortilla pizza into 4 pieces. Just like that. So if you look at the bottom, see how crispy, crunchy the bottom got there? Kind of like a cracker almost, but still kind of pliable. Super good. We're going to give this a try. Alright, the moment of truth, folks. Yummy thin crust pizza. You're going to love it if you like thin crust pizza, and I recommend you try it, even if you haven't had it before. So I'm hungry, so we're going to end this video. So give it a shot. Till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us at Markelly Farm.